All right, guys. Today we're going to do Unit 7, Lesson 5. We're skipping Lesson 4 and going straight on to Lesson 5. It's pretty similar to what we've been doing yesterday. We're just solving for the unknown angles. So on page 40, just kidding, page 39, 5.1, is this enough? It says Tyler thinks that this figure has enough information to figure out the values of A and B. Do you agree with him? Well, we know that the measure of a straight line down here at the bottom is 180. We know the angle in the middle is 90. So Tyler thinks that we have enough information to figure out what A and B is. Well, do A and B look the same? It looks like A is a little bit bigger than B, so they're not the same. So we can go 180 minus 90 and we get 90. So we know A plus B equals 90. But if they're not the same, we don't have enough information to figure out the problem. So Tyler was mistaken. There is not enough information. So if we turn the page and go to page 40, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be solving for the variables in the problem. So, I just did there. It says Elena and Diego each wrote equations to represent these diagrams. For each diagram, decide which equation you agree with. So Elena says x equals 35. Well, we see that 35 degrees is right there. Does this look the same as that? I would say no. 35 here up top is a lot smaller than x, so x is not 35. So Elena, no dice. So it must be Diego. X plus 35 equals 180. Well, we know this straight line right here is 180 degrees. We take the two angles and add them together, we will get 35 or 180. So to figure out what x is, we just go 180 minus 35, and we'll get 145 degrees. So there's number one. Number two, Elena says 35 plus W plus 41 equals 180, and Diego says just 35 plus W. Well, look here, it's a straight line. It takes all three of those angles to make a straight line. So Diego is wrong, Elena's right. So to figure out what W is, if we go 35 plus 41, we get 76, so 180 minus 76, we get 104 degrees. 104, maybe, sort of. Okay, so number two is 104. So that is page 40. If we look over at number 3 on page 41, it says, Elena says W plus 35 equals 90. Diego says 2 W's plus 35 equals 90. Well, this looks like a right angle to me. So 1 W plus 35 equals 90. So Diego is wrong. It doesn't take the 2 W's, it just takes the 1 W. So 90 minus 35, we get 55. And then we're done. Okay. Number 4. Now, if we look here, we see this is 35 down here, but we're looking for this over here. This looks like a right angle, but we learned from yesterday that vertical angles are the same. So if it's 35 down here, it's also 35 degrees up here. So 2 W's plus the 35 equals 90. So Elena's right this time. So if we go 90 minus 35, 90 minus 35, we get 55. Yes, 55. So then we got to go 55 divided by 2, and we get 27.5 degrees for W. Okay. Number 5 down at the bottom looks kind of tricky. Nope. Let's scroll down here. Elena says W plus 148 equals 180. Diego says X plus 90 equals 148. Well, they both have different variables. So W plus 148 equals 180. Well, we know the measure of a straight line is 180. Let me get the marker here, the drawing tool. So W plus 148 does look like it is 180 degrees. So if I go 180 minus 148, I'll get 32 degrees equals W for Elena. Now, if we look at Diego, Diego says X plus 90 equals 148. So we notice here, 148 is right here, the green. It's a vertical angle to this one right here, which is X plus the 90 degrees. So Diego's right as well. So 148 minus the 90 gives me 58 degrees. So they're both right. Okay. So if we turn the page to page 42, we have more problems like this. So we'll go through these a little quicker because we've done a few of them. All right, W plus 124 equals a straight line. So right here we have a straight line. So that's 180 degrees. So 180 minus 124 gives me 56. So W is 56. Okay. Right here we have a straight line on number 2. So we know 180 degrees again. So 52 plus 23 is 76. So if we go 180 minus 76, we get 104. Okay. Number 3, line L and M are perpendicular. Perpendicular means they form a right angle. So we know this right here is 90 degrees. Okay. So we need to find X and X. Oh, well, there's 2 of them. So take an X, put it here. So I have 2 X's plus the 23 equals 90 degrees because it's that right angle, right? So if we go 90 minus 23, we get 67 degrees. But there's 2 X's, so we got to go 67 divided by 2, and we get 33.5 degrees. Okay, this problem is a lot like number 1 on your assignment for tomorrow, or I should say for today. Number 1, it looks like this, so we'll go over it really fast. This is number 1 for your assignment. Gives me a straight line, which I know is 180 degrees. I have an X over here, I have an X over here, and in the middle I have 148 degrees. So it's a lot like the one we just did. We know the 2 X's plus the 148 gives me 180 degrees. So if we minus 148 from both sides, 180 minus 148, I get 2 X's equals 32 degrees. So 2x equals 32 degrees. We divide by 2. 1x equals 16. So your answer to number 1 on your assignment today is 16 degrees. Okay. Number 4 is a lot like on number 4 on page 42 is a lot like the problems we've been doing. The 2m's plus 66 equals 120. If we subtract 66, we get 56. We divide by 2, we get 28 degrees on number 4. Okay, and that's the lesson for today. Not too challenging. We just got to figure out, are we dealing with a 90-degree angle, or are we dealing with a 180-degree angle? Okay, we already did number 1. If we look at the bottom of page 43, we have our summary here. This just tells me I can take what I know from the picture and set up an equation. So I know I have a vertical angle here. Different color so you can see it. Vertical angle here with a vertical angle here. We know that vertical angles are the same. So 3x's plus 90 degrees equals 144. We minus 90 divided by 3, x equals 18. Okay, so we're just trying to figure out what we know from the situation and trying to figure out what the missing variable is. Okay, with number 2 and 3 in your book, or for your assignment tomorrow, or today, I should say, your assignment today, numbers 2 and number 3 are the same picture. You're just trying to find different letters. So the picture, we have a straight line here. Let's try this again. We have a straight line here. We have a straight line here. This is L. This is M. We have another line here. And then we have an angle here. Okay, it tells me this one right here is 19 degrees. Oh, that's pretty. This one is X. This one is W. And this one right here, down here, is 138 degrees. Okay, so number 2, it wants us to find W. So we know that this right here is a straight line. We know the measure of a straight line is 180. So on number 2, let me write it up here. Number 2, we know W plus 138 equals 180. So if we minus 138, minus 138, we get W equals 42. Okay. And then number 3, if this one is 42, when it tells me that L and M are perpendicular, that means that we have a right angle here, 90 degrees. So 19 plus 42 is 61. So X plus 61 degrees equals 90 minus 61 minus 61. X equals 29. Okay, and there you have it. Let me just double check to make sure I told you right. Yep. Okay, so that's the lesson for today. Hopefully you're paying attention. You got the answers to the assignment. Remember, you can do the assignments as many times as you want. Tomorrow there will be a quiz on all this stuff. Just like the assignments, you can do the quizzes as many times as you'd like as well. Okay. If you have any questions, go ahead and send me a message to Canvas or email me, and I will get back to you. Hopefully this makes sense, and let me know if it doesn't.